Monday Night Raw was in Boston, Massachusetts tonight, and they started the show off with Becky Lynch making her way to the ring. She tells Shayna and Bayley that she is right here, and if you are in the building, come face her, champion to champion, because you have been both running from one show to another, talking about brand supremacy. She says she does not care about brand supremacy. She is right here. We do not have to wait until Sunday. We can end this tonight. And what better place for an Irish person to fight in Boston, which has a huge Irish population, if you did not know. And then all of a sudden, we hear Iconic, and Peyton Royce and Billie Kay come out. And I don't mind Peyton Royce shaking her ass, so that's okay. But yeah, I don't need to see him in the ring much. They say their stupid tagline, "We are the future," which is just awful, and they're pissed off they're not on the Survivor Series team. Becky interrupts and says it was supposed to be in her and Charlotte tagging tonight, but why not face the both of you right now? Charlotte comes out and she asks Becky if she wants them to herself. She says she does not want to tag with her, but the Forces want them to team. And then they announce they will. You have a tag team match, and all of a sudden Samoa Joe comes out, and it was just strange. Like, what? Samoa Joe? But he just joins Jerry and Vic on commentary, that's what they did. It was a little bit strange. So they had Peyton Royce and Billie Kay against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair officially. Quick matchup here, not much. We know who's going to win here. Iconics are jobbers. They got their big WrestleMania win earlier this year, but they're jobbers. They're a joke. Charlotte and Becky dominate. You have Charlotte, Becky Lynch, hits a big exploder to Peyton Royce, and then Charlotte puts Billie Kay in the figure eight and gets her to tap. And after a match, we already have Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir attack Billie and Peyton. And Becky and Charlotte realize what's happened, and they return to the ring and go after the three other horsewomen. But Shayna kicks Becky in the leg while Jessamine and Marina take down Charlotte. Shayna, Marina, and Jessamine go through the crowd, but then Charlotte and Becky followed. And then what happens is they're stopped by the security guard, and Becky Lynch punches out the security guard. It was just strange. I don't know. And they just go after him. I don't know. I thought it was okay. It's not realistic for just this. I mean, I like Becky, but does she have to beat up every guy on the show? You know what this is. Okay. Yeah, you know. They go to Charlie Caruso with Ryder and Hawkins, and she's interviewing them, and all of a sudden I see the Authors of Pain just get in their faces really close and just beat them down. You have the OC come out, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. They cut a promo on Humberto Carrillo. And then you have a match with Carl Anderson against Humberto Carrillo. This was okay. This was decent. Humberto with the win. He has some potential. He has those big dimples. I guess, he's almost kind of like a baby face with those dimples. But, it kind of makes him hateable. Like, that face you really want to punch. So, I don't know what they're going to do with Humberto Carrillo, but seems more of a heel to me. But they're trying to push him as a top baby face, obviously, as we can see. But he gets the win over Carl Anderson. They show Charlie Caruso backstage with Seth Rollins. I hate what he calls her, Chuck. I fucking hate this guy. I can't stand Seth Rollins. He said, as a leader, he would not back down. He has been here 7 years or back down. He says this city knows about champions. They have a quarterback. Many people want to see fail. He mentions Brady. He talks to Andrade, says he's talented and he's done here in Mexico, but this is not. This promo sucks. Seth Rollins is fucking horrendous. Then they show Charlie says something will be breaking that you will need to see to believe. Okay. Then you have Lana come out, and she says today is the happiest day of her life. She says she officially filed for divorce for Rusev, and he cannot be around 90 miles of her, which is just ridiculous. And you have Lashley against No Way Jose. Lashley murders No Way Jose quickly, and then him and Lana kiss. That was whatever, I don't know. I heard Rusev is behind this, and just, I don't know. I see he's kind of a cuck. I can see someone fuck his wife in front of him. I don't know. They're back, and Zelina Vega introduces the man who will lead Team Raw at Survivor Series. He is the greatest in-ring technician on the face of the planet. Andrade, Selena and Andrade come out. Selena looking as great as always, especially in those leather pants. And as Andrade faces Seth Rollins. This was a good match up here. They went on for a while. They went for a commercial break. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. Seth obviously sucks. We hate his character. He's just not over anymore. He's not cool. I'm not a fan of him. But the match here he had with Andrade was good. Andrade is a good worker, and Seth's a good worker. Near the end, you have Zelina Vega being thrown out because she interferes with Rollins, and then Rollins gets back in the ring. He hits Enziguri in the Falcon Arrow on Andrade, and he goes to the top, and all of a sudden you have the Lucha House Party. They push him off the turnbuckle, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? I guess they're aligned with Andrade. They're all from Mexico. Is that what it's going to be? The Lucha House Party, all Lucha wrestlers from Mexico? I don't know. They beat down Seth, and I think, is Seth part Mexican? I think he's half Hispanic. I'm not sure, but he could be. He might be. So anyway, after the match, you have the Lucha House Party and Andrade beat down. Andrade went after them, but they attacked Andrade too. I made that mistake. I was thinking of that. I got that wrong. I read that wrong. Andrade went after them, and then they leave the ring, and Andrade and Seth have some words. We are told by Vic Joseph that due to the attack from the authors of pain, Carl Anderson, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are out, which is great. They show Buddy Murphy banging on Aleister Black's door. He says, all you need to do, says, you must be all talk, and he walks away. And then they show Aleister open the door, so I guess that's the match. I don't know. They've done a horrible job with Aleister Black. They show Triple H arriving to the arena, and then they do the commercial in which CM Punk returned on WWE Backstage. And I will talk about that. I will talk about CM Punk's appearance on WWE Backstage. They show Akira Tozawa talk about Buddy Murphy in Chinese in Japanese. Akira Tozawa in Japanese Jesus Christ, Akira Tozawa and Buddy Murphy have a match. Buddy Murphy with the win. He wins with the Murphy's Law. Man, I'm getting everything wrong tonight, but he wins. They show Eric Rowan looking at his friend in the cage as he's playing peekaboo. We're back, and Buddy Murphy walks down the hall, and he sees Aleister Black's door again. He calls Aleister, and Aleister walks into the hallway, and they have this awkward staring moment. It was just awful. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Eric Rowan kills Alex Malcolm. Just a joke. They show Charlie Caruso with Randy Orton in the back. Charlie asks Randy about whether he can be a teammate that with people he might not like. He says he's proven for 18 years he has not played well with others unless it benefits them. He says the Viking Raiders are looking for a fight, and Randy says he will be in the ring looking for a fight with a partner of his choosing that will benefit him. Next, you have Kevin Owens against Drew McIntyre. This goes on for a while. It is a long-ass match. It takes forever to go through. They show Triple H arrive. He arrives. He is with the Forgotten Sons, Damian Priest, Dominik Dijakovic with him on the floor. He gives Owens water, and this is an awkward segment. I don't know. He gives Owens him, and he talks about how he trained with trained in Malden with Killer Kowalski. They wrestled in the Boston Garden many times. Magic happens in Boston. Hunter says we have the chance to make some magic. He's trying to recruit Owens just like he recruited Rollins. He would run. You were the guy that when he brought him to NXT that he would turn on his best friend to win the NXT title. He had the guts to walk down to NXT with the NXT title and challenge John Cena at his debut, which was cool. You legitimized NXT. You were taken from NXT and you probably did not want to leave. You were taken by people who don't understand you and they didn't want you. You were too talented and smart to fit that mold, which is 100% true. This is actually really cool. Kurt Angle fired you, Shane McMahon fired you, they looked in your eye and told you you don't belong here. Hunter sees a guy with a great ring IQ. He sees a man that is who's as good as he thinks he is. He sees a guy who doesn't fit the damn mold, and he loves it. You look at those guys and you wonder why they're here. This is not an ultimate. It's just to ensure that you can have this conversation. They are not here to attack you. Isn't it ironic that these guys came here for you so we can have a conversation? Everyone in the back. Your teammates are in the back. Any of them want to help you. They don't give a damn about you. This is a good promo by Triple H. The other reason they came out, they would get their asses handed to them, and they will prove they are no longer the A brand. And you have all the Raw guys come out on the ramp, and all of a sudden, Jensen Era attacks Kevin Owens. And Adam Cole has some words for Triple H. So Triple H is mad about this. The OC comes out, and then some of the guys in the NXT leave. Charlie Caruso's in the back. She announces AJ Styles against Humberto Carrillo. So that's the day after Survivor Series on Raw next week. She interviews Humberto, and he's humbled by this. And then Paul Heyman comes out. She sends it to Paul Heyman. He cuts a promo on Rey Mysterio. Brock's going to kill Rey Mysterio, Miracle or Massacre. This is boring. I'm kind of bored with this. Rey Mysterio has his rebuttal. He brings Humberto over, and he says he's going good thing for the Latinos, wishes him luck. Long promo by Rey on Brock. That went on for too long. Yeah, it was fine. Says it's for Dominic, but it's a no-holds-barred, no DQ match. Ray's getting killed. Natalya faced Asuka. Asuka with the win. Hopefully Asuka gets to face Becky Lynch soon. Maybe at the Royal Rumble. I heard that's their plan. But she gets the win over Natalya cleanly. I think that's where they're going to go. She faces Becky at the Rumble. So main event, you have Randy Orton and Ricochet versus Eric and Ivar for the tag team titles. No one's going to win here. What they have here is a match for a while. It doesn't go on for too long, but then the SmackDown's theme music comes out and they attack Orton and Ivar. And then it's just a sea of blue, and it's all blue guys. The NXT roster attacks the SmackDown roster. More NXT guys come out, and then eventually more Raw guys come out. And it's all a battle. It's a huge battle. It's Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. It's a three-way war. Triple H says this is the beginning at the end. In 6 days, Dave will show NXT's the A brand. Wednesday night is an open door. Raw and SmackDown are welcome to be on NXT. They get more Raw brawling, and then Humberto Carrillo or Keith Lee tosses Humberto Carrillo onto the Raw wrestlers on the floor, which was funny. So craziness, battles, all leads up to the Survivor Series, which is this Sunday. Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.